Lords of Apathy.
Yeah, Lords of Apathy.
Had a little brain fart there.
No, I figured you were gonna go on and say
Oh.
something. You were like Lords of Apathy, and then that was my segue to
Yeah,
say something. I missed the mark.
that's all right. That's all right. But Lords of Apathy, guys, we're back. Quick little convo. We talked about this a little bit earlier.
Which one?
The one that came to mind, just movies.
Yeah.
Because we having that Soprano
Well, was it
conversation.
movies or TV? TV shows.
It
Just
was
media.
Yeah, it was
entertainment.
TV shows,
Yeah.
really. But no, movies as well, just because everything now you can stream. But the conversation that we were having is like, it's so crazy. Now, you can watch whatever show, the dial of a button. It used to be, back in the day, go to Blockbuster or West Coast Videos.
Yeah.
I don't know too many of them, but you go
Hollywood
there.
Video was mine.
Hollywood Video. I
Hollywood
do remember
Video,
Hollywood
yeah.
Video. You go there, you rent a video. It was DVDs, but before DVDs, it was the VHSs. I remember those. But you rent that for a couple of days, whatnot. But now, you got Netflix, jump onto Hulu, Amazon Prime, I think it's called.
Prime?
The
Yeah.
Prime. So whatever it is, you can watch just anything.
But what are you trying to say here? Because it's like these apps are just like the movie stores or movie theaters, right? They're competing for your money, and they're giving you an option or venue to go to.
But technology has allowed it to be there on demand.
Your observation was the mass amount of information this can hold. It's not like they're only going to have these for 6 weeks and they're out on VHS.
No.
Once they come to
Yeah.
the streaming services, that's there.
Yeah.
And more just keeps coming in.
Well,
It's TV shows and movies. I
the-
think that's what you was, right?
Well, kind of, but the next step of my thought process was you have all of this information, and here's the part that kind of doesn't help out. It's like there is so much information that you miss certain shit. Like I've got Netflix and I've got Xfinity, but I don't have a Hulu, so you can miss out on, like, let's say Sneaky Pete. There's just so much of this shit. Now it even gets to the point where, like we were talking the other day, I'll sit down and be like, all right, cool, I want to watch a movie. And 2 hours later, I'm just scrolling through the endless line of movies, watching previews and whatnot. It's like,
I think that when you said that I knew exactly what you're talking about. I mean, maybe we shouldn't even, as a culture, spend that much time watching TVs and movies in the first place.
yeah, that's
But
entertainment.
it's true. It's like you sit there in front of the streaming site and you're like, when you're a procrastinator, on YouTube too, I'll add it to the watch later or my view list later thing.
Yeah.
Right?
And that's
Next
like
thing-
procrastinating to the
It's
third degree.
You're procrastinating enjoying yourself. You're procrastinating your entertainment. It's like, what
That's
the fuck?
crazy.
And it's like the, I guess to what I was saying before, where they just keep adding more and more. I guess they do shuffle. Netflix will take things off. Amazon, sometimes the shit will be free, sometimes you got to pay. So I guess there is a bit of a fluctuation. But to your point of there's so much stuff out there that what I was saying, what makes it all so good, the thing about it is the binge watching and the good shit.
Yeah,
Right?
that was one of the biggest benefits I got out of, because I hate like with The Sopranos, you had to wait every Sunday. Was it 10 or 9? I think it was 10. You had to wait and watch the show, and I found that, like, dude, man. Now I'm really a slave to my television because I gotta be. It was good to a certain point, like in Living Color. It's like almost the family sat down and watched it. But I didn't like the week to week to week to week to week. Now I can sit down and binge a whole, which probably is not the best thing to be doing, but sit down and binge a whole series. You know what I'm saying? I can 2, 3, 4 series. So I mean, I like that. That technology, obviously, in one of its brighter moments.
I don't think, though, when it was just TV, when TV came out in every home in the 50s and 60s and stuff like that, I don't even know. I'm sure there was definitely research on the effect it had on society, on psychology of an individual and stuff like that. I'm sure it's out there. But it's so, the amount of information that we could take in before we're decompressing and watching TV and movies, the amount of data of news and entertainment, it starts when we wake up. Checking our phones, like we were just talking about Wilson, he's checking something, whether it's for better or for worse, he's looking at his phone.
Yeah.
We're getting information on a commute into work. We're we're streaming something. Our minds must be so overwhelmed by the time we get home from just that alone that I wonder what the consequence, if any, is going to be of consuming so much information.
Well, I mean,
The blue light,
I think
the
also
Bluetooth and the blue light and all the digital shit all together.
I think I worry more about the effects of all these microwaves and whatnot, and even vision issues. But I mean, I think over time we've also evolved in regards to our brains it's a computer as well, so we take all that information in.
Yeah.
If you don't have a steady brain, a stable life, or whatever, some chemical imbalance, all that stuff can turn to be it can fuck you up in certain ways.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, I see what you mean, and I wonder what the studies show, but it's happening now. I mean, shit, let's say back in the 70s and the 80s, like right now, what's the consequences of us having to watch all that shit? Other than the fact that I feel like as a people, as generations, we have short attention spans, more and more short attention spans. But I think we took in the information. It's a whole lot more with all this technology, but I mean, it's more convenient. It's easier too. We're not going. Remember Encyclopedia Britannicas? If you needed to look something
You have
up
to
and
look
do a
something,
paper,
right. It was
now
insane.
you can just Google that
Yeah,
shit.
and a lot of that stuff, you couldn't look up an encyclopedia. Well, what movie was Steve Buscemi in 1995? Now you can just find that shit out, like, hang on. But, like,
That's true.
I think what we were talking about when you brought this subject up, what I was saying is the change in the episodic shows. Like the content, the cinematography, everything, it got better.
Yeah, and
to binge watching, like Sopranos.
Yeah, you were mentioning it with
ability.
Sopranos. Yeah.
To binge watch, and with that, I mean,
It was like watching a movie, watching an hour-long movie.
well, even that, but you were able to have the opportunity, and the writers had the opportunity for better. And I don't know what stopped them before, but you had more conflict. Maybe there isn't going to be a happy ending. Character progression, character digression.
Yeah.
Right? You had that, and maybe you did have that in shows prior to that, but a lot of shows were half-hour to hour shows, and especially in sitcoms, maybe there was character evolution throughout the series, but within 30 minutes, there was an issue, a climax, and an ending, and all returned well back into that world until the next episode.
Mm-hmm.
Now, in The Sopranos and beyond in shows, there is a conflict per season, per whole show. You know what I mean? Like
Every show's a cliffhanger.
Every show's a cliffhanger. Every show, not all shows have the protagonist now. Some of the protagonists are the anti-hero.
Yeah.
Tony Soprano, Vic Mackey.
Some of the antagonist is the protagonist
Right.
of the movie. Yeah.
And with that, I think that has also made people want to watch things more. Coincidentally, it's come at the time, like The Sopranos ended at the verge of being Netflix instead of being DVD. It became the streaming service, and then you had shit come out like Boardwalk Empire, Breaking Bad, which was, you know what I mean. And now these streaming series are able to put out their own shit now, which are a lot of them are fan-fucking-tastic.
Yeah, that's what I hear. I don't see too much of them because I mean,
Yeah.
I don't watch too much of the series, but Netflix has a lot of good ones, especially foreign ones. There's one that's dark.
Foreign ones.
Yeah. Dark is one. I forgot where it's set up. Even Black Mirror. Black Mirror is what. We won't get into that, but Black Mirror is what across the pond there.
Is Black Mirror British?
I think so.
Yeah. But the great
Well,
thing
they had
about
a version of it.
what's refreshing about Black Mirror, it's very Twilight Zone and Outer Limits because of the like it's a weird sci-fi anthology.
Yeah, but it
the
pushes
idea,
technology.
The idea of you can just put on any episode you want at any time and don't have to follow a storyline. That I like that. There's something also refreshing about that.
I agree. Yeah, that was the conversation that came to mind. And with all of that being said, another conversation that I want to have is bread and circus. You give them bread and circus, and they'll always follow lead. That's part of our conspiracy. All this shit that we have to watch, like you mentioned, football or basketball, whatever. I mean, there's sports, obviously. There are people's lives involved. They're competitive, but to the masses, it's more entertainment.
Right. The way I bag on sports is the same way someone could bag on
All these shows.
my form of decompression and endless time wasted of watching stuff. Yeah, it ties into. We got to get into a lot of shit that we intended LOA to be with this conspiracy. We didn't intend it to be a conspiracy.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
But there's
yeah.
a lot of shit.
There's a lot of shit that
we make these observations for a reason.
Yeah, something's out there. We don't understand it, obviously, but we see it, and it's subconscious, almost. Not. I don't want to say subconscious, but it's not a good vibe to it. My intuition tells me, but that's when we get into the conspiracy realm.
Well, we can get in the conspiracy realm, but we also can see some friends that we're making out in the YouTube world. They're regular people controlling their own destiny and could be, you know what I mean? You get it. You're putting your information into the matrix, but at the same time, you're controlling your own content.
Yeah.
And it's not like, you know what I mean? It's not like we're a part of some kind of grand scheme, acknowledging it anyway. We don't know.
Yeah.
But like, it's cool to meet people that have a handful of followers like we do, and you don't have to go to Hollywood and hire an agent to do the shit anymore, which could, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, like I said, technology.
I don't know. I think I kind of brought that a little off the rails. I think you had an underlying point to make.
I mean,
not a point, but an observation.
Just the next topic, bread and circus. Like, there's so much that we are distracted with that I truly think we're not connecting to what we need to be. But then again, maybe that's just us evolving, or maybe it's not a conspiracy, or maybe it's the puppet masters. Like, all right, let's give them this, let's give them that, so they don't see the real issues at hand.
I tend to think of it, and I think that's why we're Lords of Apathy, because we feel this certain way, but we're not like, we gotta.
Hey, I can't do anything
tell the
about
masses.
it.
Yeah.
No.
Well, I mean, we might as well have a drink because we're here. But no,
It's there, man. It's like I'm apathetic after I see the whole situation.
Right.
But I am very passionate. Like, no, I want to talk about this. I think the Earth is flat. I want to have these conversations, but at the end of the day, I've also looked at it like it's not much we can do about it except have these conversations.
Well, yeah, and I say I coined the term for us that we're social observationists. Because we're just observing. We don't have any fucking answer to some of the shit we
of course
bitch
not.
about.
Social observationalists?
Yeah, I made that up, but I don't even know if it works. But
Yeah.
I liked it.
Whatever.
It sounded good when I said it one time. It just sounds like shit now. But I think we definitely have to get into some of that stuff. Like the book, I got the book Simulara and Simulation, Simularic and I can't even say the fucking thing, but whatever. It was kind of somewhat the movie The Matrix was based off of, but we'll get into that another time.
Yeah.
But anyway, to your point, there's just I think what you're trying to say, there's just so many options. And is that a good or bad thing, right? We give our kids so many options too, and the other generations. That's not a good thing.
Is it a good thing?
To have so many options?
No, that's the thing, because I mean, it kind of gets like tricky there, because it's obviously more options. You think that's always better, right?
Right.
If you have more colors in the spectrum, then you can do more things. But at the same time, is it truly distracting?
Having more options can be very distracting, of course. I mean, plain and simple, like what we're talking about.
Then then you can never truly focus on one color, because you're just always moving from one to another. But I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
Therefore, I don't care.
Right, we don't. I'm gonna fucking stream something tonight.
Loads
I'm not
of
gonna
apathy.
think of my hour right
I'm gonna
home.
watch. I'm gonna watch the last episode of BoJack Horseman again.
Dude, I love that theme music.
Yeah, yeah. The beginning and the end.
Wait, you're streaming? You're watching BoJack now?
I'm done.
You're done?
I'm done. I binged that one.
See, I never watched that through as
You'll
a
watch like
series.
separate little shows. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's usually when I'm with you and Siegel anyway, and it's like stoned.
Here we go there.
Oh my goodness. Yes. Our kind host here. Thank you, sir.
At an undisclosed
At
location.
an undisclosed location. You've seen the backdrop before, folks. Anyway, I think this might be a good,
Yeah, good
What,
good break.
good break.
Lords of Apathy.
Yeah, next one. Wow.
Bougie ass nigga.
Some scotch on a Sunday night. Really?
Call me a pussy ass nigga.
I did hear those words.
Yes.
I mean, you're
It's
not
not
all,
in my vocabulary.
he's
However,
not all
I
bougie.
heard
I
it.
mean, I did call him a nigga. Right?
Is that recording?
Yes.
Did he use that word nigga?
Shut
And
As long as you or him said it, and not me. Everything.
in the presence of Sean as well.